Elon Musk's $7,899 tiny house is finally ready, but it's not the price that changes the world. It's the promise of zero-cost energy independence. That single sentence lands with a thud. It makes you stop and think. We are so used to seeing big numbers attached to homes, and even bigger numbers attached to our monthly bills. So when a price that low is mentioned, our brains immediately start calculating. We think about mortgages, rent, and the endless cycle of payments that define so much of modern life. But the real story here isn't about a cheap box to live in. It's about what powers that box. It's about a fundamental shift in how we get our electricity and what that freedom could mean for our lives. The price tag is the headline, but the true value is zero-cost energy independence. Imagine a life where you no longer dread the utility bill arriving in your inbox. Imagine a heat wave that doesn't come with a skyrocketing electricity bill, or a winter storm without the stress of spiking costs. This tiny house sells the idea of breaking free from the grid, from unpredictable costs, and from a system that can, and does, fail us. It forces us to redefine what a home is. For generations, a home was tethered to pipes, wires, and most importantly, to power. This suggests a self-sufficient island, a small personal power station that follows you, futuristic and deeply primal. Harnessing the sun with modern tech gives us control we've never had before. The price is just the key. Energy independence is the door it unlocks. So let's put the price aside and talk about the promise. You can own your power source. The sun doesn't send you a bill. Once you have the equipment to capture and store it, the fuel is free, forever. A game changer, an escape hatch to a simpler life. So what is the magic inside this tiny house that makes all this possible? It's not magic at all. Just a brilliant combination of two key technologies, solar roof and Powerwall. Think of solar roof as the collector, a stylish roof secretly working all day, capturing sunlight and turning it into electricity. That's the income side of your energy budget. But what about night or cloudy, rainy days? Enter the Powerwall, a big, smart battery you keep in your home. During the day, excess power doesn't go to waste. It's stored in the Powerwall, like a squirrel saving nuts for winter. At night, that sunny day energy runs your life. Watch a movie, cook dinner, charge your phone. The two parts work seamlessly together, in constant communication, storing, supplying, and smoothing power automatically, so the tiny house can run completely off-grid. It's its own little power plant, not just backup for storms, but a different way of living. Traditional homes are consumers pulling from distant plants. We pay for whatever we use. This tiny house is a prosumer, producing and consuming its own energy. That shift, from passive customer to active producer, is the revolution. Capture the sun's free energy, save it for a rainy day, and forget the electric company. Let's walk through a typical day in this revolutionary tiny house. Sun rays hit the solar roof. Electricity flows. You make tea, toast bread. Power coming straight from the sun in real time. Laptop, phone, lights, all running on clean energy being made a few feet above your head. As the sun strengthens, the house produces more than you need. The Powerwall charges, like filling a water tank for later, often full by midday. Evening arrives, the sun sets. The Powerwall steps in, cook dinner, turn on the TV, settle in with modern comforts. No flicker, no interruption. Enough stored energy to last through the night and into morning. What about clouds? System design matters. A properly sized Powerwall can run a small, efficient home for several days without sun. I remember a storm that cut power for a full day. Silence, warming fridge, dead phones. Now imagine your lights, fridge, and internet still on. That's peace of mind, powered by the sun. The most immediate and tangible impact is on your wallet. Electricity is a large, unpredictable expense. Now imagine it's gone. Not reduced, eliminated. Suddenly you have an extra 100, 200, or more each month. Thousands per year, a child's education, or a small business over a decade. This isn't just saving a little cash, it alters your financial reality. Fund travel, switch to a fulfilling career, even if it pays less. Work part-time, pursue a creative passion, save aggressively for early retirement. Beyond extra cash, stability. Rates rise with geopolitics, inflation, and infrastructure woes. When you own your power, you're insulated. Your energy cost is fixed. After the initial investment, your fuel, sunlight. Das free side kreen. Azim sri in green side. Plan with certainty. Whatever the market does, your lights stay on and your cost stays at zero. Utilities once wrecked my yearly budget. Removing that variable simplifies life and strips away a layer of stress we barely notice until it's gone. It's not just cheaper, it gives you freedom to choose how you live, work, and dream, unburdened by the grid. Beyond finances, the tiny house plus independent power unlocks mobility and resilience. Many are built on trailers, often treated as RVs, not tied to land. With off-grid energy, mobility becomes true freedom. Live wherever you can park, without chasing utility hookups. Spend spring in the mountains, summer by the ocean, autumn in a quiet forest. Minimize heating and cooling by following mild climates. Take a 6-month job without furnishing an apartment. Bring your home with you. Perfect for digital nomads, traveling nurses, and remote workers. In an age of extreme weather and fragile grids, a self-powered tiny house becomes a sanctuary, an island of stability in a sea of chaos. Your lights stay on, your food stays cold, your devices charge. That's security, especially for families with children or elderly members. Powerwall and solar roof aren't just green tech. They're a personal insurance policy against uncertainty. Freedom to move and withstand disruptions turns a tiny house into a modern survival tool. This tiny house and its energy system represent a philosophy, a vision for a future lifestyle, built on independence, sustainability, and intentionality. It's a choice to leave the default path of more space, more stuff, more consumption, for a life that's simpler, cleaner, and value-aligned. Independence, freedom from the grid, from utility bills, and from a 30-year mortgage, financial and psychological independence. The feeling of being in control, the captain of your own ship, is profoundly empowering. When you power yourself, you use energy mindfully and become an active participant in your own comfort. Sustainability. Smaller spaces use fewer resources, less to heat and cool, less to build, fewer possessions, and when powered by sun, truly low impact. This isn't sacrifice, it's it's smart design. Sustainability and a high quality of life enhance each other. Intentionality. Every object must have a purpose or bring joy, and your time and money follow the same mindfulness. More room for relationships, health, and passions. Ideas are great, but human stories bring them to life. Meet Maya. Brilliant, but most of her income vanishes into rent and bills. She feels stuck on a treadmill. She discovers the off-grid tiny house, uses her savings to buy one, and parks it on a small rented plot just outside the city. Her cost of living plummets. She goes freelance, chooses passion projects, her creativity soars. Now David and Sarah, retired, with a big empty house that's expensive to maintain and heat. They sell, downsize to a tiny house with solar and a battery, and park on their daughter's property. Close to grandkids, still independent. Their fixed income goes further. They travel and enjoy retirement. A new chapter of family, freedom, and security. In both stories, technology is the silent enabler. Solar panels and a home battery form the foundation for better lives. The vision is exciting, but there are challenges. It's not perfect for everyone, everywhere. In long, dark winters, you may need a larger array, more storage, or supplemental heat, adding cost and complexity. Regulations can be tough. Finding legal parking is hard. Yet tiny house communities are emerging with legal lots, shared resources, and camaraderie. Models for affordable, sustainable living in a more resilient, flexible grid. In the end, this $7,899 tiny house isn't really about Elon Musk or even the price. It's about a powerful idea whose time has come. We can live modern, comfortable lives without being tethered to yesterday's systems and costs. It's a story of empowerment. The tools for energy independence are becoming accessible and affordable. This house is a catalyst, a conversation starter asking, is there a better way? Think of it as a seed. Plant it, and you don't just get a plant. You get the potential for a garden, a forest, an ecosystem. It suggests homes that are active partners in our well-being. Clean energy, zero bills, and more freedom and choice. Change won't be overnight. It starts with curiosity, learning about solar, visiting a tiny home community, talking to a neighbor with panels. Small steps drive cultural shifts. The promise of zero-cost energy independence is the real headline. Resilience in an uncertain world, financial freedom in an expensive one, sustainability on a fragile planet. This tiny house may be small, but the idea is vast. An invitation to take back control, simplify, and power our future with the sun. And that is an idea that has the power to change everything.